everyone, it's Abby Glassenberg from Craft Industry Alliance. Hope you're having a great day today. Today we're going to be doing our member spotlight with Diane Scarponi. Diane is a sewing pattern designer and she has a really beautiful brand called Style Falcon, and she's going to come on and tell us all about that. And I got the chance to meet Diane in person at our inaugural H&H Americas last year, which was so nice. Industry Alliance member for quite some time, so I'm excited to introduce you to her work if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it. So that's coming up. Hey Diane, how are you?
I'm awesome, Abby. How are you? It's great to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, good to see you as well. I'm very excited to have you. So Diane, let's start out by you telling us a little bit about Style Falcon, and then we'll back up and kind of get a little bit more of your story.
Sure, yeah. Thanks. So Style Falcon is a brand of home sewing patterns designed for mature figures. Let me explain a little bit about what that means. So almost all the fashion that you have in the stores and almost all sewing patterns are designed based on this stereotypical hourglass figure. Even though most of us do not remotely have the stereotypical hourglass figure, that's been sort of the standard in fashion for, in Western fashion forever, I guess I should say. And so this is why your clothes don't fit. If you don't have that shape, you're going to have a hard time getting your clothes to fit. And particularly when you're older, or you've had a few children, you've given birth to a few children, or any number of other things may happen, your body changes, and that hourglass proportion isn't remotely what you're like. So Style Falcon is a bit of a different shape and a block than many people might be used to. It has things like a lower bust point, because as we get older, gravity tends to take over a little for many of us. There's more room in the tummy area. If you've had kids, or even if as you get older, you may notice that you need a little more room there. And other features around your shoulders and your back, the way things are shaped, again, not for that youthful hourglass figure, but for a more mature figure. And I've only been in business for about a year, and I have 6 patterns out and a growing community, and it's been really, really fun. And I've been a Craft Industry Alliance member for most of that time, and thank you again for the community for all of the support and advice I've received.
Of course. And so one thing I was wondering about is sort of the style aspect of this, right? Because I think you can hear all of that and think, well, maybe they're just going to be like kind of sack-like dresses or something like that. That's not going to, highlight the parts of my figure that I would really like to highlight. So maybe you can talk about the style part of Style Falcon.
Sure. I think this top that I'm wearing is a pretty good illustration of it. I like to say that Style Falcon patterns are sharp, dramatic, and inspired. They're not shapeless blobs of nothingness for us to hide away in. It's really about celebrating who we are. So this is a pretty good example. It's a modern tunic shirt or strip dress kind of thing. I'll move this is Ruby, my dress form. I'll move her out of the way for a second. It has hidden pockets, because you gotta have pockets. It's a modern princess seam. There are some cool style lines here. You can do some color blocking to really make it your own. So it's more like a piece of wearable art in a sense than just a regular old button-down shirt like you have a million of that you've known your whole life. Another one that's cool that I wanted to show you is this is the jacket, one of the jackets that I have, and it's called the positive space jacket because it actually creates negative space, a series of triangles around your throat, your shoulder, and accentuates your face. It draws attention to your face in a really nice way. And it's really great for crafters, especially because it has this really big dramatic collar, which is perfect for embroidery, for quilting, any kind of, again, wearable art that you want to spend time on. You want to make it unique and you want to make it your own.
Right. And I think this is really appealing to a lot of people who maybe are in their late 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, who, maybe used to sew for themselves or used to sew for children and things like that, and would like to return to it, get back into sewing, get back into making things for themselves. Or maybe they've been doing it all along, but really want styles and patterns that fit their life now.
Yeah. I think that's a really great point, Abby. When I I talk to a lot of people who are just like what you're describing. They used to sew, they used to love to sew, and they grew up with a lot of the more venerable pattern companies that we're all familiar with, and they stopped doing it because these things don't fit.
Right.
They don't fit at all anymore, or the styles are just for kids. They're too young looking, or they just don't fit my life, or they also have readability issues. Many of us, as we get older, we have visible impairments.
Right.
And so the Style Falcon patterns always have just things that are, you might take for granted, but just things like really big, bold fonts on all the pattern pieces, and nice, deep, dark lines so you can really see them. And all of my instructions also include a large print edition, again, for people who have visual impairment issues. And it's one of those things that's pretty simple to do, but it's something that I've thought of because I know where people are coming from nowadays when they're trying to sew, they're trying to get back into it in their older life, you know.
Right. That's so smart. And, you know, those accessibility tweaks help everybody. So I think that's fabulous. So tell us a little bit about your sewing journey. Have you always been sewing your own clothes, and how did you learn to sew?
I've been sewing on and off my whole life. I learned at the knee of my grandmother and my great aunt. They were both really big sewers, and I just have fond memories for both of them of just working on just some simple thing as a child. And, you know, I kind of got into it and out of it throughout my life. I was into it in high school, went to college, kind of got out of it. After I got married, I needed to hem my husband's pants, and I thought, you know, a sewing machine would be a really great tool to have in the house. So I bought a secondhand Kenmore machine and got to work. And from there, I did quilting. I started making my own clothes. I did all kinds of other projects, and just fell in love with it, and really wanted to, you know, I had a dream for a long time of bringing my ideas and my designs out to the larger world.
And was it hard to start a business doing this? Because, you know, sewing pattern drafting and writing is technical and complex, especially when you're grading. And yeah, it's really, you know, there's a lot of details there that need to be done correctly. And so I wonder what your learning curve was when it came to actually becoming a designer.
Sure. I think that's a really good point, and I don't claim to be the technical expert on a lot of things. I do work with a professional team, a pattern maker, a grader, and a graphic designer, and all three of them work in the fashion industry in addition to doing some home sewing and or, you know, custom couture garments for private clients. So I have a great team behind me. I have taken a lot of classes. I've read books. You know, I had intended to, you know, enroll in some formal fashion school classes, and then the pandemic happened. So I thought, well, this isn't going to work. But I bought the books. I bought that and did the exercises and kind of learned by doing. And I do work with a fit model. I am not the fit model for Style Falcon. My fit model is a woman who's 60, who has a very fit body, but is fit for someone her age and fits in the kind of in the medium of the you know, this sort of a curve of heights and widths and shapes of various kinds. She's kind of in the middle. And so from there, I can make some sizes larger and some sizes smaller.
And when you're taking photos for social media, for different marketing purposes, I don't know if there's photos on the covers of the patterns or on the back covers of the patterns, are you working with models who are, you know, within the age bracket of the pattern customer that you're hoping to?
Oh. Yeah, I think I do model everything that I make because I feel like I wear it. I do wear it every day almost, and I do also work with some pattern testers who've modeled for me. And then I work with a illustrator who does these traditional fashion illustrations, which I really love, and they're all meant to, the model is meant to look older, which is kind of a harder thing to do than you might think. Because you can't just draw people with gray hair and call it a day. But the idea is to show what things look like on real people, you know, to give you a sense of what it would look like on yourself. And then I love my pattern testers because they're accomplished home sewers, but some of them are beginners and some of them are more experienced, and they have a variety of shapes and sizes and tastes and fabric, and so it makes for a really good display of all the options and alternatives that people have if they want to try a Style Falcon pattern.
So which one is your best seller? I don't know if there's one pattern. Most pattern designers I find have one bestseller.
I do. I have two, actually. I think they're about neck and neck.
Okay.
The first is the Secret Jeans Trousers, which here's, again, if you like embroidery, you know, like do something fun in your pockets, like make this paisley like I did. These are either a mock jean or a dress trouser. I have the dress trousers on. And they have a jean style front inset pocket, which is great. Your stuff never falls out of the pocket like that. But the secret is that there's elastic in the back, so it's comfortable. You can get on and off, and you can make a pair of mock jeans like these without all of the rivets and the hardware and the fly and the zipper and whatever, which, you know, tends to scare people away from making jeans. My second bestseller, which again they're kind of neck and neck, is this top, which is the gorgeous Godet top.
Oh, wow.
This one, you can either do a cowl version like this one, and the Godet is the side. There are these big diamond-shaped insets on the side. Or you can also make a sleeveless version, like for summer, or if you live in a warm climate with a traditional scoop neckline. And this one's really popular too because there's just so many options. People love color blocking. They love, and it's a knit, so it sews up really fast. So those are the two best ones. And I have another pattern that's coming out. It's going to drop next week.
Okay.
This one, which I call the Sublime Shell. It's a woven T-shirt type of a top, but it's a raglan sleeve. It has a couple of neckline and sleeve options. And I think this one will be really popular too because you can make it a little bit more than a yard of fabric and pretty quick, and again, make it your own. There's a lot of style options that come with it.
Yeah, and those are so versatile too because you can wear them under a long sweater, under a blazer. You can just wear it plain in the summer. There's lots of ways to wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Diane, it's really inspiring talking to you. I love seeing what you're up to, learning more about your business. Tell people where they can go to sort of follow along with what's going on at Style Falcon.
Sure. I'm here on Instagram. It's at Style Falcon. My website is stylefalcon.net. I'm also on Facebook at Style Falcon and on YouTube at Style Falcon. I had to do a lot of research, but Style Falcon was not taken.
Yeah, right. You got a good, unique name, so it's perfect. Yeah, that's great. So that way you got all your social handles.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. This is great. And do you sell just print patterns, or do you sell PDF patterns, or both?
They're all PDF patterns. Okay. Yeah. They're all PDF patterns, and I intend to offer some print patterns in the future, but for now, that's what I'm able to do. The whole printing situation is a bit of a nightmare, as maybe you've heard. So that's the way it is. I do have on YouTube, if you've never done a PDF pattern and you don't know how to work, 2 5-minute videos that show you, here's how you download them, here's how you print them. You can choose your own size, which is really cool in a PDF pattern. So you don't have that spaghetti of all different sizes to work through.
I love that.
Yeah, and then you can store them. You don't have to have this bulky paper stuff stored all over your house. You know, you can store them electronically and print them when you're ready.
I love putting them together with printer paper because the pattern itself is also really durable. Like once you've, taped it all together, it's not on tissue, so you're not going to rip it or like pull it, and also they're so hard to fold, I find, with tissue. Like I feel like they're nice and durable, so you get the instant gratification. Yes, there's some assembly, but honestly, once you understand how it works, it's really not hard. So
definitely, I agree.
Yeah, smart that you gave your customers some instructions to make it less intimidating if that's something new. So that's good. Yeah. Well, Diane, this has been great. Thank you to everybody who joined us today. It was wonderful learning more about you.
Thanks a million, Abby. It was really great talking to you, and I will see you again soon.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye, everybody. Take care.